Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs. Welcome back to Decidedly Vanilla, episode 2, and it's a Monday. We're keeping these episodes rolling for you Mondays and Fridays. From now on, I think, I'm gonna just make a few videos kind of regularly to keep the hype going, keep everyone excited, and keep some more Minecraft 1.9 content coming at you. Now, what on earth did I just say? Minecraft content? Get your voice right, Pix. Have another cup of tea. Yes, thank you, I will. So, I want to give a big thank you to everyone who supported the launch of this server, launch of the new season, and everyone who wished my wife a happy birthday after that weird video blog I did on Thursday night. But yeah, you guys seem to like that, so maybe I'll do those occasionally. Maybe not all the time, but occasionally, just to kind of keep you guys updated with the latest news. So here we are at Farhaven. This is going to be the base of Decidedly Vanilla from now on. Obviously, we still have Freehaven over there to the north. And I think a few people, just to clarify what's going on here, I think a few people wanted to keep the stuff from Freehaven around, but a few of us wanted a server reset for 1.9. So we kind of met at a compromise where people can continue building on Freehaven, but it's a little bit different. Like there are mysterious story-based reasons, and I think everybody might have a different reason for why Freehaven has been magically transported to this far and distant land. But we're here in a savannah, which is really interesting. Never built in a savannah before, really, so I have a couple of really neat ideas going in creative right now for what we can do. But yeah, I'm going to take the opportunity for a server reset to try out a couple of new things, and a couple of people were asking about that in the comments of the last video. I think Kasra asked if I was going to do the museum idea, which I've had going for a while, and the answer to that is yes. That is one of the major projects I have planned for this server. If you guys haven't heard me talk about this before, it's similar to the kind of thing that I think Biffa was doing on the last season of Hermitcraft. It's definitely not an original idea. There are definitely people who have done similar things before, but the idea is to collect one of every block and item in Survival Minecraft and make a museum to display them all, and it's an idea I've had going since I was playing on Xbox. The last project I was doing on the Xbox 360 version of Minecraft before I moved to PC was actually this museum idea. And actually, I'm going to go and sleep, come all the way back down here to my little fishing spot that's been out here for a while, but I probably want to go back up there and sleep the night away. Actually, you know what? I will fish the night away, because I have a kind of secondary project that I'm doing right now, which is I have started a business of a type selling stuff that I catch from fishing. As you guys probably know, the loot tables have been adjusted a little bit in 1.9 so that now you can get different stuff from dungeon chests, you can get different stuff from fishing, and one of the most exciting things is the new enchantments, Frostwalker and Mending, which you can only get from either fishing, villager trading, or finding them in dungeons. And obviously we're in the early game here right now. People are still out there looking for dungeons. Jeff has probably found 7 of them already. I think he said he'd found at least 3. That's not even an exaggeration. So, and I think KB found a spider spawner over there on the kind of cliffs out there. So yeah, he's going to be working on that. Obviously all the loot is theirs to claim. I don't think that's an efficient way of finding... efficient, get you with the puns. The unintentional puns are rolling out nice and early in this episode. It's not the most efficient way of finding books, especially the Frostwalker and Mending books, because you can get kind of pot luck. You can get any old books when you're in a dungeon, and you can get any old books from fishing as well, but I've already got myself a mending book from fishing. Not only that, but I have been fishing up both rods and bows with insane enchantments on them. I got this rod. This didn't come like pre-packaged like that. I had to get an unbreaking and mending rod and combine it with a luck and lure 3 rod. But I have myself a rod that I will never ever need to replace. This is the amazing thing about mending, is that you can just fish stuff up, and you'll notice briefly there, it took a little bit of durability, but then the experience you get from fishing stuff up replaces the durability again, and you never need another fishing rod, ever, which is absolutely fantastic. Mending is a phenomenal addition to Minecraft 1.9. I'm really excited for getting some more mending tools on the go. I also have this bow, and I'm not sure if this is going to be my bow for the foreseeable future. It's only power 4, and I have a power 5 one on the go already that doesn't have flame yet, so I might add flame to it. And I'm not going to necessarily stick with flame or punch. but missed that one. I'm definitely keen on keeping Infinity this time around because we don't have a skeleton spawner immediately accessible. I'm pretty sure Jeff found one, but it's not going to be the case that I'll be able to drop by so conveniently as the one at Freehaven was to go and grab arrows. So having Infinity nice and early means I only have to have like a handful of arrows in my inventory and I'll never need it again. Infinity and mending on a bow, recipe for success right there. You just need to shoot down a bunch of stuff overnight. I got myself another rod there, did I? No, what was that? Was that a clownfish? It was just sideways, so it looked like a fishing rod. So yeah, basically I'm going to try and fish up as much awesome loot as I can here in the early game, and I'm going to sell it to some of the people on the server. I'm going to start my own business. And I took a poll on Twitter a few days ago now, asking you guys what it should be called. I had a couple of semi-decent ideas. It was going to be either Catch of the Day, Hooked, something else that people could tweet me, or the winning answer, which was Pix's Fishy Business. And I promise you it's not going to turn into some kind of flim-flam thing. I'm not that kind of player. I could be persuaded in future if somebody wants to join me as a business partner and do the flim-flam thing. I'm not that inventive. You guys may have noticed I don't tend to swindle people out of stuff all that often when we play on Minecraft. I tend to like a fair deal. I'm a bit of a pushover, let's be honest. So I'm starting this up as a legitimate business on the server. I want to start trading people some stuff that they're going to use, and I'm trading them mending rods, mending bows, any enchanted books I get from fishing that I don't necessarily want to keep myself, and I've been getting books with like 3 or 4 enchantments on, so I'm looking forward to selling some of those to people. I have an absolute ton of saddles. I have more saddles than I could ever possibly want or need, and I have a ton of name tags already, so there is some fantastic stuff coming out of here. I also have an absolute load of fish. I have so much fish right now, so I'm going to be giving away fish pretty much with every purchase. I've already sold a mending rod to Jefferson, who I think was interested in mending as soon as 1.9 came out. He was like, I'm getting some mending gear, and he hadn't managed to fish up anything himself, but I sold him a rod. He came up on a horse with diamond horse armor and bought a mending rod off of me, so that's Jeff to a T. And the other day, I caught up with Mr. Nobody's, Mr. KB, Nobody's LP himself, and we had a bit of a conversation about what he might want to buy from Pix's Fishy Business.
Sure, I'll be your first customer. I've given up the illusion that we're typing because I can hear you typing.
Kind of ruined that, didn't we? Right. Yeah.
But I got some diamonds,
You
man.
got some diamonds. Well done. Good stuff. Yeah, if you wanna head over to my mountaintop, or maybe I can meet you halfway. I don't have an official premises for my business yet, so yeah, you'll have...
What's it called? I know we had some ideas.
It's
Or
called...
You had some ideas.
I took a poll on Twitter, so its official name is Pix's Fishy Business, which I absolutely love. I think it's great. I promise you there is nothing clandestine about this operation yet. I cannot guarantee that for the future because names like that tend to kind of turn themselves into other things, but for now, legitimate business. I will take your diamonds in exchange for a couple of things. Obviously, if you had other plans for the diamonds, then maybe we can work something out, but
I have one to spare because I definitely have plans for the 3 because I need to get some obsidian.
Okay, well, one will do yeah, maybe we can work something out because I have some pretty good fishing rods here, and you know what they say about teaching a man to fish. So yeah, we've got that, or alternatively, there are a couple of decent bows. It all kind of depends on what you think you would use the most.
Not as much a bowman.
Right. Okay. So the fishing rods we've got.
Most likely.
Yeah, I've got an Unbreaking 3, Mending, Lure 2, Luck of the Sea 2 rod, and I have another rod with Lure 2 and Luck of the Sea 2 that you could add to that to get the only rod you will ever need. But I don't have enough levels to combine the enchants, so maybe you give me the diamond and you do the combining if you've got enough levels, and then...
24, but I can probably get more and just do it later.
Yeah. I think it needed 26 at the last count, so let me go and check that in the anvil real quick. The problem with combining all of this stuff is it takes a ton of levels, and it takes all of them from you at the same time, so... Yeah, maybe, because I was thinking about charging like a bunch of diamonds for these, because they're pretty good and you'll never need to buy another one again unless you, like, I don't know, lose it in lava or something. Yeah, 26 levels this one needs. So I was thinking of charging quite a lot for them.
So I think would be okay.
Yeah, I think lava fish haven't quite been added to the game yet. And is that... I keep mistaking the cows out here for Endermen because they've got such long legs. It's really weird. Hello. It is actually
Hey.
it's safe up here, so I think we should be fine.
Okay.
So yeah, I have here Unbreaking 3, Mending, blah de blah, and the other one.
Oh yeah, that one's almost dead. And that one's yeah, but
Yeah.
once you combine them and then luring,
Yeah,
or the
if you put the one with all the enchants in the anvil first and then put the other one in second, it will cost you fewer levels. The other way around it's like 30 something, but that way around it should be 26.
got it.
So,
Cool.
thank you for being the first customer at Pix's Fishy Business. That will be 1 diamond, please, sir.
Yeah, with no storefront or
Yeah,
anything.
No, I'm definitely going to be building this place from the ground up. I was thinking about setting up a delivery system if I can find myself a donkey and so forth, but yeah, that was quite the trade. If you feel like using that rod to catch anything later on, like if you have any junk that you'd get from fishing that you just don't think you'll use or something like that, then I can probably work out some kind of way of you like trading stuff like that back to the shop, so you could probably even recoup your investment a little way down the line if you wanted to.
Okay, we can definitely work something out.
Yeah. There's
Do you have anything else to sell now by chance? I got some iron.
I have a couple of decent books, a lot of saddles. Let me have a look in here. Some lily pads, some name tags, an absolute ton of fish. To be honest, I'll give you half a stack of cooked fish for free because, you're my first customer and everything. I want to create this kind of I want to create a kind of loyalty atmosphere kind of going on with the shop.
Gotcha.
So
how much for another half stack? 'Cause
another half
I'm
stack?
having issues with food here like crazy. I'm just keep starving. So.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, I can give you another half stack for maybe a couple of iron. Just huck a couple of iron in my direction if you've got it to spare. That would be lovely. I can
How
always
about one.
Oh, 1 iron block sounds fantastic.
Fair.
There you go.
Cool.
And yeah, I will probably use most of that to make shields because I have been going through shields on this server. The skeletons apparently have it out for me.
Yeah, you'll see in which is going to be second or third episode. I have no idea how I'm going to cut anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we do this all real time and live. Yes, that's what I'm gonna say.
Absolutely. Yeah, this was recorded on the day it's coming out, guys.
Yes, not yeah. Today is insert date here.
Yeah,
yeah, and the ground was littered with arrows.
Yes.
And I fired none.
Yeah, it's really funny. Like even when you're repelling them with a shield, the skeletons just seem to have arrows just scattered all around you. Like they just drop to the ground, and it's really annoying not being able to pick them up. Like I somehow I think that you should be able to pick them up if you manage to like successfully deflect them or something. Because I run out of arrows super quick.
Themselves multiple times. Off the shield.
Yeah, if you get close enough. Yeah.
Yeah, which I usually am because I don't have a bow that I trust. I mean, I just finally made my first one.
Yeah.
And I don't have the arrows because, well, I can't pick them up, as you said.
Yeah.
So I've just been blocking them and then shoot, hack, shoot, hack.
It's a really good strategy, though. It's really interesting working out how best to use shields, but I'm definitely getting used to it. When a skeleton comes up, I used to just be like, oh, great, I'm going to die in the next 5 seconds. Yeah. But these days, it's working pretty well. Like I said, I do have a couple of really decent bows that I'm working on right now that have, like, the works. They've got Infinity, Mending, Power 5, Punch, Unbreaking, Flame, all that kind of stuff. So maybe when you've picked up a couple more diamonds, if you feel like becoming a bowman at some point, then... feel free to drop by again. Pix's Fishy Business may have relocated to somewhere down there on the plains that's a little bit more accessible, but give me a shout.
Not out of your house, which looks a little shady, which has no walls or ceiling or...
Yeah, I plan to have a house up here at some point, but it's gonna take a bit of time. I've got a couple of designs I'm working on right now, so give it a couple of days and there might be something here. But yes, shop premises probably separate from the home premises, I think. So yeah, we'll see how it develops.
We got a creeper trying to come up your stairs too. So.
Oh, he's my landscape architect. It's fine. It's just Mr. Stevens. He's okay.
So I shouldn't shoot him?
Maybe not, but it might be best to go down the other way. Oh, hello. This guy's definitely an intruder. Get out of here.
Got it.
Right, I'll see if he wants to do any more work on the lower slopes. Let me see if I can get him to come this way. Hello, Mr. Stevens. How are you? Well, I fished there for about half an hour. It was just over one full Minecraft day. I waited for the sun to come back up, and I get to count my winnings, and all I got from that was about a stack of cookable fish, 10 pufferfish, which is not too bad, some lily pads, which I'll use for decoration, a broken rod, some leather, a name tag, and a tripwire hook, and a bone for some reason. Apparently you can fish up bones, didn't realise that. But yeah, it really goes to show that fishing is going to be kind of hit and miss. As a long-term strategy, it's not super great. If you can get a villager who trades mending or frostwalker, then you are quids in for the rest of the game pretty much. But especially in the early game, hello Mr. Stevens. Mr. Stevens, I've decided, is my landscape architect. He's the guy who decides where the craters should be. But yeah, I'm going to quickly grab the experience for the bow because I've been mending that over the night. If any mobs come near me while I'm in that little fishing spot, which is usually pretty rare, but occasionally spiders or zombies will try and have a crack at me, I just fend them off with the bow, collect the experience, and it's nearly fully mended, which is pretty good. But if I'm selling bows and rods and stuff like that and they've got mending on, it doesn't even matter if they're not full durability because they will get that back very, very quickly. And then they'll just mend themselves and you can even pick up a bit of experience yourself. So, yeah, the loot has been a little bit hit and miss, but more often than not, if I stick around here for more than an hour, I get some pretty serious hits. So I have a couple of Luck of the Sea mending rods that I need to add the top level enchants to. I've got one completely available rod there. I've got a couple of really awesome bows. There's Infinity Mending, Power Punch, and Unbreaking. I have a flame one around somewhere else that I can add to it. And all of these bows and all of these rods, which have varying enchants on, came from fishing. So this is going to be pretty good, I think, as a business opportunity. It is looking pretty great. I'm going to cook up the rest of these fish now, throw the pufferfish in there. I've got 2 stacks of pufferfish already, so that's more than enough that I'll need to make any water-breathing potions I happen to want to make later on in the game. I'm going to combine the dead rod with this one so that it can have full durability or near enough, and then we can always enchant that in a table later if we want some bonus enchants to add to one of the mending rods that I've fished out of the river over there. But that's my early game business venture, is going to be the fishing stuff. I have this entire chest full of saddles, pretty much. There's so many in there. As you'll notice, I'm not taking my own advice as regards storage. If you saw yesterday's episode of Ask a Minecrafter, then you'll know that I gave a bit of advice about storage, which I'm not currently keeping, but that's because I have so many fish, so much loot and stuff, that I, kind of need to store things slightly differently. I'll throw the tripwire hooks in there while I'm at it. You'll notice I have some gold horse armor and a couple of notch apples. I've been exploring a little bit. I did find a dungeon, I believe. I think it was a zombie spawner. I've got the coordinates for it, but I'm not that interested in doing the XP farm kind of style thing this time around. I'm probably not going to do that. I'm probably going to leave that to people like Jeff and the guys who want to do more technical stuff. You'll notice down here that we've also been to the Nether, and KB and I did that together the other day, but that is going to come out next episode. I feel like it's probably good to space out this kind of content, especially considering KB is probably not going to be uploading it all in one go. So you'll get to see our trip to the Nether on Friday. Got a little bit of loot from that as well. The next thing I'm going to do, because I have a few enchanted books around here, this is my book of mending, and I'm saving this for something quite special. I mentioned a couple of times that I want to go the axe method. I want to go the axe route this time around, and I'm not so keen on the iron axe. I want myself a diamond axe, and I want to have mending, unbreaking, and sharpness 5 on an axe. I think that is going to be a really, really effective weapon. It's not going to be as good as a sword. It's never going to be as good as a sword in terms of damage per second. People have worked out that swords are still the most effective. You're also not going to be able to have enchantments like fire aspect and looting. So I'm definitely going to be having a sword for stuff like that when I really want to grind out some resources from mobs and stuff like that. If I go find an ocean temple or something like that, I'm probably going to be killing the guardians with a looting sword instead of a sharpness axe. But one-shotting stuff with a diamond axe is pretty badass. So that's my plan for the long game, is to have myself a mending diamond axe, and I will never need to have another axe again as long as I don't lose it. Same with the rod. Same probably goes for the bow, although I'm not sure if it's going to be this bow or not. The other thing I want to do in this episode, which I'm going to take you on this brief adventure now, is to go and grab some birchwood. I'm pretty sure there is a plains with a forest nearby out in this direction, and I'm also kind of scouting for locations for the museum. And I need a big open plains biome in order to do that, but I'm also going to take a look around and see if there are any cool caves around here. As you probably saw in my chests back there, I have a decent amount of resources so far. Not been doing a huge amount of caving right away, because I want to maybe save that for a couple of collabs, if people want to go caving together, that kind of thing. But over here is another Savannah M biome, and it's really cool. There's like this massive collection of savanna and desert biomes all in one place. There is a mesa out that way, which is enormous. It's the biggest one I've ever seen. It stretches for thousands of blocks, so we're never going to be starved for stained clay, I can guarantee it. But this Savannah M biome over here, these things generate naturally and look like amplified terrain in a regular default vanilla world. They are absolutely spectacular, and the thing coming into view right there is what I call the Golf Club of Zeus. It's this huge, like, monumental floating island which has this massive spire that looks like a handle and this giant, like, club looking thing on the end. I think that's quite amazing. Some of the scenery around here, spectacular stuff. It's really, really nice. So I'm quite liking this map so far. There's a lot of desert in this area, but these are biomes that I have not really built in before, so I'm excited to see what we can come up with. As you saw from my little mountaintop dwelling over there, my little plateau, I do not have a great deal of stuff built yet. In fact, it is pretty much just storage chests and nothing else, and I'm debating where I want to build. I think I probably want to build something up there, but I'm not sure what, because I would pretty much just have to build up something tall. Here we go, we're getting into more plains territory over here. I'm also on the lookout for a donkey because of the Fishy business mobile transportation service, whatever I want to call that. It's probably not going to be called that. That's not particularly catchy unless I can come up with some kind of acronym for it, but I can't think up one of those on the fly. But yeah, birch trees, that's what we want. I will explain why I'm looking for birch trees in a second. Some of it is for the wood, but otherwise it is for other things, and that's why I've got my shears with me. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly what I want to build over there. I'm not sure if I want to just make a small house on top of the hill and then come down onto the plains and build something bigger. Really not sure. But I'm going to gather some birch leaves, because birch leaves look absolutely spectacular when you take them out of their element. Like, if you look at them like this, they don't really look like much. They look kind of like, they're a little bit dull almost. They kind of have this sort of yellowy green color that, especially in the forest biomes where you find birchwood naturally, doesn't stand out, doesn't really pop as much as the green oak leaves do. But once you take them out of there and into warm biomes, everything changes around, and I'll show you what I mean once I've harvested a few more of these. So here we go, back on the savannah, and you'll notice there are a couple of oak trees around. I kind of mistakenly said in my last episode that I didn't think oak trees grew in the savannah. Turns out they do. I've generated a savannah test world so I can try out a couple of colour palettes, a couple of building styles, and there are some naturally growing oak trees. Not these big ones, though. I have grown a couple of these myself intentionally just to get a little bit more flavour into the flora of the area, and people feel free to move these if you think they're in the way of something you want to build. If there's a specific spot that you want, then that's fine. But somebody had already carved out these path blocks. I'm assuming this is either Jeff or B-Ran, because they were the guys who were on the server first of all. And Jeff has definitely dug this around his enchanting area, so I figure it's possibly even Jeff. And I added a couple of, where are they? A couple of, like, oak wood planks to this, just to make the steps around here a little bit easier, just so you can run around. I've kind of done a little bit of prettifying here and there where I felt like it was necessary. But I want to talk to you guys about the leaves, because we just gathered some birch leaves, and as you'll see in a savannah, because it's a warm biome, the leaves start to take on this kind of, like, almost browny green color. They get a little bit kind of faded almost, and they're not a really bright, vivid green. And that's with oak leaves. It's the same for acacia leaves, jungle leaves, and whatever the other one is. Dark oak, I believe, is pretty much the same as an oak leaf. It looks nice and bright and green when you're holding it in your hand, but then you pop it down, and look at that. It's basically kind of dull and weird, which is where birch leaves come in. Because birch leaves and spruce leaves, you guys may know this if you've watched a couple of my other videos, or if you've just seen this trick before, they don't change color when they go go into different biomes. And while some people may think this is a little bit of an odd feature, I think it can be used to great effect, especially when it comes to decorating builds. Now, you guys know me and leaves. I love decorating my builds with leaves. I think they're such a brilliant aesthetic block just for making a build look like it's been there for a while, making it look like it's part of the natural environment. And if you put down birch leaves in this biome, suddenly they pop. Suddenly they look so much nicer than they do in their native biome, and I'm going to start hoarding and farming birch around here just so I can have leaves that are this kind of green against this kind of green. I think that really makes them stand out. So I'm going to work on a couple of build designs. I have one in mind, which is kind of a more modern build. I feel like a savanna is a good place for modern builds. The other thing I've been considering in terms of architectural styles is Adobe, which if you guys Google Adobe house, if you just Google Adobe, you'll probably come up with a bunch of stuff about Photoshop and all of their like software packages and stuff, because Adobe is that company that makes like Flash, and they make Adobe Acrobat and stuff like that, PDF readers, that kind of thing, and Photoshop. But Adobe is also a style of architecture. It's kind of common in various regions around the world. There's a lot of it out in the southern United States, in places like New Mexico, where Native Americans and stuff, that they kind of have these houses built out of old kind of baked clay, basically. And so getting some sort of white and natural stained clay from the mesa and then building some adobe houses around here might work. The only problem with that is it's a fairly plain building style, and I can see myself getting very bored of looking at it all the time, because it basically just relies on houses being kind of small and there being clusters of them, as opposed to having any kind of detail in the house itself. You can just stick a couple of wooden buttons on the outside for decoration, and then you're pretty much done. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to adopt the Adobe style or if I'm going to go a little bit more modern, but I feel like those are pretty good options for building in a savanna environment. I feel like it's got this nice, broad, open feel. It's the kind of place where you would expect secluded modern houses to be built, I think. So it's going to be interesting to see what other people come up with as well, because I know KB has decided to make his base inside of that mountain over there, and I'll tell you what, him and B-Ran have got it made when we get Elytra on this server. Once we fight the dragon, go to the end cities, which is probably not going to be for a little while. I know that's the kind of Minecraft 1.9 content a lot of people are excited about, but we're not going to get to that until everybody is ready. But when they get Elytra, and I'm sure Jeff will be one of the first people who does, he's going to be after those end cities, because you know Jeff and getting OP. But having a place like this to jump from and just gliding down over these plains down to wherever you want to do whatever project you've got going on is going to be incredible. I'm so excited for that. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic to have a base built up high, which is kind of why I still want to build up there, despite myself not having a whole lot of space. But maybe we will find something else. Maybe we can build a tall tower even, or maybe we can build something that will be like an Elytra launching platform if you want to travel quickly to other areas of the map. I don't know. These are the possibilities for Minecraft 1.9, but I'm going to leave it here for today because I have done an awful lot of talking and not a lot of doing other stuff. So, thank you guys so much for watching. My name has been Pixlriffs. I will probably be back on Friday with another episode, and we'll probably get some building done. Then I think we'll probably manage it, but also me and KB's trip to the Nether, because we've had a bit of an explore in there, and there's some really cool stuff going on. So, I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye for now.